In this Maths Olympiad preparation question, we're given the square root of the square root of 9 minus the square root of 8, and we're asked to simplify this. The first thing we're going to do is to look at our initial expression and see if there's anything we can simplify quite easily. So we've got a root 9 in there. Well, the square root of 9 is 3. And we've got a root 8, which is the same as root 2 times root 4, but root 4 is 2. So this is going to equal the square root of 3 minus 2 root 2. Note that I've taken the positive square root of 9, positive 3 there, because if we did negative 3 minus 2 root 2, we'd end up with a negative number, so square rooting would give us imaginary, and we're trying to keep our real solutions here. What we're going to try and do now is we're going to try and change that 3 minus 2 root 2 into something else squared, so that this will cancel out that square root. And the way we're going to do that is, looking at the form 3 minus 2 root 2, we should be able to rewrite this in the form a plus b root 2 all squared. Because if you think about what happens when we square that bracket, we're just going to end up with a squareds, b squareds. We're going to end up with root 2's still. So we should be able to find some a's and b's that will make this work. So let's expand that right hand side. That would give us a squared plus 2ab root 2 plus 2b squared. So we're now going to equate our sides and try and make some simultaneous equations which we can solve to find a and b. The first thing to do would be to match up with the 3 on the left. So the only items on the right hand side which aren't multiplying root 2 are the a squared and the 2b squared. So a squared plus 2b squared must equal to 3. And then looking at the root 2's, we've got minus 2 on the left hand side, we've got 2ab on the right hand side. So 2ab must equal minus 2. I'm now going to rearrange that second equation just to get in terms of a. So dividing by 2, dividing by b, means that a is equal to minus 1 over b, which we can then substitute back into the first one to give us minus 1 over b all squared plus 2b squared is equal to 3. Well, squaring that first fraction would make it 1 over b squared. Now if I multiply this whole thing through by b squared, we're going to get 1 plus 2b to the power of 4 equals 3b squared. So I've done that just to get rid of that fraction. If we move everything onto the same side now, 2b to the 4 minus 3b squared plus 1 equals 0. And what we can see is we've got a quadratic in terms of b squared. We've got the 1, we've got our b squared, and we've got b to the 4, which is b squared squared. So let's try and factorise this now with b squareds in our brackets. Not too tricky. This one is 2b squared minus 1 times by b squared minus 1, so still equal to 0. Solving this, we would get for the first bracket that 2b squared is equal to 1. B squared would therefore be equal to a half, so b is equal to plus or minus 1 over root 2. But we've said that b must be in the real numbers, so this one doesn't fit our criteria. So let's look at the second bracket. If b squared is equal to 1, then b must be equal to plus or minus 1, which if we stick back into our a equals minus 1 over b equation would give us that a is equal to minus or plus 1. Using these a and b values gives us that 3 minus 2 root 2 is equal to either 1 minus root 2 all squared or minus 1 plus root 2 all squared. But looking at those two brackets, they're very similar there. We can see that minus 1 plus root 2 is the same as minus brackets 1 minus root 2, our original one, which if we square is going to equal also 1 minus root 2 squared. So we've got that 3 minus 2 root 2 is equal to the square of 1 minus root 2. And we know that our original expression, square root of root 9 minus root 8, must now be equal to the square root of this bracket squared. So our square root and our square are going to cancel out. We're going to end up with plus or minus 1 minus root 2. There's our simplified answer. And if you wanted this as a rounded decimal, as an approximate answer, this would be the same as plus or minus 0.414. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to the Doing Maths channel or check out some more of my videos by clicking on the links here.